this is Manindrabu from Batam. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
I'm Sela Sadakau from Vatukola. I only listen to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold Naka, I'm Vale and I'm working at Golden Grove Resort, and I love listening to Gold FM because it plays a really wide range of classic music.
I'm Saini Sakio from Kashmir Wotoka. I like Gold FM, but only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
The Mineral Resource Department has declared the Manohan building at Wainivul and Nasinu unsafe occupation. Permanent Secretary Malakai Finau confirmed this in an exclusive interview with FBC News. Ali Kimbia has the details.
Having completed the first phase of investigations on the Manohan building, the Mineral Resources Department has recommended that the Water Authority of Fiji to vacate the building.
Further investigations conducted identified the existence of fault lines on the location of the building, and therefore I have recommended to the CEO of WEF to vacate the building.
Water Authority staff have reported that they felt the building shake last Wednesday. Finau confirms the tremor was not an earthquake.
There was no movement, meaning that there was no earthquakes or tremors that was detected by the Mineral Resources Department. On the day, in the vicinity of the area of Manohan building, that may have or would have led or contributed to this movement.
Members of Manohan building have referred all queries to their engineers. The Water Authority is now operating out of its Wailoku water pumping station. The six-story building has been vacant as of last week due to safety concerns. It has been cordoned off by engineers as they carry out more tests to ascertain its safety. We will know in the coming days what is to become of the structure. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
The family of an 8-month-old who died at Nausori Health Centre are tonight seeking answers. Parents of Ivan Alvin Krishan claim medical staff did not act swiftly to save their baby. Ritika Pratap reports.
My case is not an emergency. They said babies are to be given a first priority. Then why did
Alvin Chandra Krishan of Nandawa in Nasinu says his 8-month-old son suddenly fell ill last Wednesday night.
He woke up and he started coughing and vomiting. So like the way he was vomiting, yellowish, I could see the yellowish color in there. So I thought to take him to hospital. So from here, I took him to Valelebu Health Center, which was closed. Then I went to straight to CWM.
Krishan says at CWM hospital, the staff nurse gave his baby Panadol mixture and put him on a nebulizer. However, after some time, they could see black rashes appearing on the baby's body.
She told me that you have to wait for the doctor. Then we waited for around half an hour. Half an hour waited there, no doctor was there. And then my baby started to breathing heavily. And he was breathing heavily, and like he was like some kind of unconsciousness was coming in him. And what happened? We again told the nurse that look at my baby, what she's going through. And she came that very soon a doctor will come. Then she told me that there is currently no doctor available.
The family were desperate by now and decided to take the baby to another hospital but could not find any private medical clinic. They ended up at the Nosori Health Center, where Ivan was pronounced dead after some time.
They told me that my baby was suffering from sepsis. Right? I tried to find out about that, and it says that virus is a deadly virus caused by a wound or any infection. But I can confirm that my baby did not have any kind of infection or any kind of sore or wound.
Ivan was laid to rest 2 days ago. Health Minister Chone Usamate says an investigation is underway and he will be meeting with medical staff concerned to get an explanation on what transpired that night. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
A bullet was found on board a Fiji Airways aircraft in January this year. The airline says the aircraft in question had just completed its commercial flight between Nadi and Auckland on January 8. The bullet was discovered by ground cleaning crew upon arrival at Nadi International Airport and the airline immediately alerted local authorities, who quarantined the aircraft and launched an investigation. The aircraft was subsequently cleared and released for operations. The Land Transport Authority is relying on technology in an effort to reduce corruption. According to LTA Board Chair Vijay Maharaj, the idea is to remove the human element as much as possible in order to close loopholes which allow for corrupt practices. Sainiani Mboila reports.
The Land Transport Authority's first phase of reform involves the use of a computer system called LTA Soft, which conducts vehicle testing all on its own.
We've already started doing vehicle testing, so that once you leave your vehicle there, all you have to do is sit down, the vehicle, mechanically test the vehicle, and then you get a result on the other end, so that you don't really have to take the vehicles on the road for drive test. So we're trying to see how we can minimize those things. But
LTA Soft is also capable of facilitating all permit applications, traffic infringement notice payments, PSV applications, and inspection payments. Maharaj says this will come later as phase 2 of the reform is rolled out. Technology will also take over operations on the road. Interactions between LTA officers and drivers will be monitored electronically, reducing the chances of corruption.
Trying to have these cameras on the road, and hopefully, we are now trying to develop a computer system whereby once the vehicle is stopped for checkup on the road, whatever information is given by the driver is automatically comes into the control system here, so that we know why that particular vehicle was stopped, what kind of offense, and so that those kind of element of corruption is eradicated, hopefully.
A new committee has been appointed by the government to review the whole transport industry and are expected to produce a final review report soon. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
The Ministry of Industry and Trade says reports by some media companies regarding the Fair Reporting of Credit Act 2016 is inaccurate. At a press conference late this afternoon, Trade Minister Fayaz Koya has cleared the air and says the act will not cause problems for the credit sector as some report. The minister says there are many complaints by consumers which highlighted that they did not consent to the information being recorded on the Data Bureau.
The Fair Reporting of Credit Act will put in place a legislative structure that provides for transparent and accountable reporting of customer information for credit purposes. The current credit reporting structure under the Data Bureau was self-regulated and had no transparent principles, lacked accountability, and most importantly, lacked rules to protect the privacy of individuals.
The Fair Reporting of Credit Act 2016 was passed in Parliament on Friday. Coming up on FBC News, TC Winston housing assistance to be given out this Friday, and 20 drunk drivers arrested over the weekend. Stay with us.
I'm Sarah, I'm from Tafwa, and I love listening to Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy, I'm from Gamiatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah, I live in Asinu. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa and I'm from Lutoka and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Ulamila, I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM, it rocks in Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. 20 people were arrested for drunk driving over the weekend. Director of Traffic SSP Mahesh Mishra says the Southern Division recorded the highest number of traffic offences, followed by the Western Division. Kelly Vadala has the details.
Despite numerous warnings, drivers failed to listen as police recorded more than 100 traffic infringements between Friday and Sunday.
We had recorded some traffic infringements that was a concern to us. We have recorded 20 drink and drive arrests throughout the weekend, and majority of these arrests was done in Suva. Yes, we have recorded a total of 143 cases of speeding and 5 cases of careless driving and other running offences, 49. That was a total of 197.
Director Traffic SSP Mahesh Mishra says Drivers arrested under the influence of alcohol were between the ages of 20 to 57.
Drink and drive cases is a serious offence and it's a serious risk you are posing to your life and to other motorists. And there's two major causes of road fatalities on Fiji Road. One is speeding and the other one is drink and drive.
No serious fatalities were recorded over the weekend, but police are still advising drivers to think of other road users. The death toll stands at 15 compared to 23 for the same period last year. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
More than 30,000 Fijians will be assisted under the Help for Homes initiative from Friday. Permanent Secretary for Social Welfare Dr. Josefa Koroivueta says this is based on the master list provided by the National Disaster Management Office. Savaira Tambua has more.
The government will refer to a detailed list for beneficiaries of the Help for Homes initiative. Permanent Secretary Dr. Joe Koroivueta says forms will be available at various locations which will be widely publicized.
You don't have to wait for long, as was instructed to us by the Honorable Prime Minister. And this is why we are doing all the areas at once, and we have different teams so to ensure that people do not go through long queues to be processed for these initiatives.
The assessment were conducted by the National Disaster Management Office after the devastation caused by Batisi Winston. People who have already repaired their houses can also apply for the scheme.
We have the master list that have categorized, all the affected families within their division, within their district, and within their village. So we have individual listings now for every community. There may be some people who have, of course, they have started to build their houses. They've already spent money. We made provision for them to get refund. And there's a form for it.
All those who receive assistance will be given a copy of building structures that can withstand Category 5 cyclone and are to be followed. Dr. Koroivueta adds funds in the electronic cards will not be accessible for any other purpose than to rebuild homes. Savaira Tambua, FBC News.
A donation of food supplies by Goodman Fielder this morning is a timely one, says Permanent Secretary for National Disaster Management Meletim Bainimarama. Worth $324,000, the donation goes towards the Fiji Government Relief Program following the devastation of Tropical Cyclone Winston. The donation consists of rice, milk, flour, 9 tons of sugar and 5,000 litres of cooking oil. Bainimarama says this donation will bring great relief to affected families.
The people won't be affected by the need for food, for rations, after the first or second month. But from the third going on, especially the areas hard hit, they'll be requesting food rations because then that's when the food that's in the ground starting to really take its toll on the people using it, on the rural population.
The supplies will be given to the divisional commissioners immediately. The Education Ministry is investigating a primary school teacher who posted partially nude pictures of herself on social media. The matter was brought to light by concerned parents and teachers who are concerned that students with access to social media could come across the photos. Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy says this is not acceptable and that appropriate action will be taken after investigations. He says teachers are only responsible for academic work but also teach values and virtues from a young age. Dr. Reddy says such actions will lead children to lose confidence and no longer take the teacher seriously. 29 people have been charged with 57 serious sexual offences in the month of April. In a first since the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions began releasing monthly statistics, they've revealed that a date rape drug was used in one of their cases. 41 cases of rape have been filed, 2 of attempted rape, 1 case of defilement, and 13 cases of sexual assault. There are 26 victims in 57 separate incidents, 15 of the victims under the age of 18 years. One of the offences involved a 6-month-old baby, and the accused person is the father. Additionally, there are 4 cases of assault with intent to commit rape, 10 counts of abduction with the intent to commit rape, and 1 of murder as part of the act. And on that note, it's sports now. Here's Jamie with the latest. Welcome back, Jamie.
Thank you, Jackie, and good evening. In sports tonight, the latest from the Fiji Sevens side ahead of Paris and London. And Athletics Fiji launches database system. This and more coming up.
Tunisia tugotua ongonia saurara ondo wulwul tagitunga na TV ni na market e tawa ondo talitanga na waronga na Bula FM na magduwa na sir
Pula mana viti na da ko plasio mataire ngon mai na na bulo tabiuni au sa tunga nandi ando talita na warongo na Bula FM
Bula FM number 2 en seri.
With the return of the Paris Sevens to the HSBC World Series after almost a decade, the French Embassy in Suva today played host to the Vodafone Fiji Sevens team ahead of its departure on Wednesday. Vashnil Prasad has more.
The expression says it all, and playmaker Jerry Tuai is ready to showcase his unique style of rugby in the Paris Sevens next week.
I was not happy with my performance from me, individually. But for the overall, I'm happy that we are achieving our goal in the tournament.
It was a time together off the field for these players. With 5 overseas players being named, skipper Osea Kolinisau says it will all come down to the fitness before the 12-member squad is named.
It's going to be based on their fitness and how they are coming in for the team. And I know there won't be a problem with them gelling in straight with the other boys.
With the return of Paris Sevens after 9 years, the French Embassy has wished Fiji all the best in defending the Sevens World Series title.
I wish you all a wonderful time in Paris, the most beautiful and most visited city in the world. And I hope that you will take time for some sightseeing too.
The hopes of the nation will be on these players to become the dream team of Fiji by defending the series title this year. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
A strong Malolo outfit beat Madhawata 27 in the Skipper Cup competition on Saturday. Eleanor Tarangaviu reports.
Mistakes and errors cost the Madhawata rugby side their first Skipper Cup game on home soil. Managing only a try and a successful conversion, they were no match for the visiting Malolo side.
There's light at the end of the tunnel. We are positive about today, that we'll be using today as a stepping stone to compete in the top 8 of the major union in Fiji.
With Malolo leading 14-0 at halftime, the pressure was on Madhawata to score some points. At the end of the match, Malolo proved too good for the hosts, having gained points from a penalty try, a try and conversion and 2 penalties in the second half. Malolo captain and man of the match, Benyon Nabuki, says they will work on their weaknesses to prepare well for Tavua this weekend.
We, the Malolo team, are thankful to the Lord as we have won the game. Even though all of us here are young, we still believe we are coming to win. We have been seeing the Madhawata team, but we worked hard because we believed we could do it.
Madhawata, on the other hand, now knows the areas that need strengthening, and hosting Namosi this coming weekend will not be an easy task. Eleanor Turangaibiu, FBC Sports.
Athletics Fiji has launched a database to keep track of its athletes. Fiji is the first in the Oceania region to try the system in an effort to monitor and assess athletes better. Rohit Deo tells us more.
What we have is our Athletics Fiji database homepage.
A first of its kind for Fiji, an athlete database which is sure to benefit sportsmen and women in the long run. Athletics Fiji says it's pleased to undertake the initiative, first launched by the Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama today.
The reason why we are doing it is because we want to identify our potential athletes and ensure that we invest our money, the fund that's been provided to us, we invest it in the right place so our athletes can improve.
The database will have details of athletes from as far back as 1963. The system will include information on every athlete's performance, injuries, average scores and timing.
It will improve the rate of the participation in athletics
and give our talented athletes the recognition they deserve. This new national database will create a structured tool that we can use to measure the performance of athletes in Fiji.
Meanwhile, Shop and Save supermarket has renewed its $65,000 sponsorship for another year. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
The Vodafone Fiji Under-20 rugby team will stay in the second tier of competition for another year after failing to win the World Rugby Trophy in Zimbabwe. Fiji finished third in the competition after beating Namibia 44-30. Fiji led 44-0 in the second half, but Namibia came back, scoring 4 unanswered tries. Meanwhile, neighbours Samoa has been promoted to World Junior Championships after beating Spain 38-32 in the final. The Fiji Under-20 team returns on Thursday. The Vodafone Fiji Under-23 football side lost its second match on the Brazil tour, going down against Parana 4-2 this morning. This was Fiji's second consecutive loss on the tour. The team plays 2 more matches before they return. The Fiji men's and women's sides made a winning start in the Oceania Volleyball Championships at the Vodafone Arena in Suva today. It's just the start they needed, making use of the home crowd advantage against the region's best teams. Chalen Daudakadaka with the details.
It's been 26 years since a regional volleyball tournament was held here, and the Fiji men's and women's sides are making it count. They beat the Kiribati and Solomon Islands teams respectively in 3 straight sets.
Went through some hardships in the training for the last 3 weeks, but today we asking all the nation to come and see the talent that the boys have. They're showcasing their talent throughout this week. So we're asking the nations to come and support our boys for this tournament.
Fiji is fielding 2 teams in the men's and women's competition against those from the Solomon Islands, Kiribati, Tonga, Samoa and Tuvalu, with New Caledonia to arrive later today.
We haven't had a championship for the last 4 years. The last one was in Tahiti in 2012. So we're progressing and having more events in more federations, and Fiji is earmarked for more. So this is only one of many events we want to bring back to Fiji, mainly because of its central location with its Oceania and so close to a lot of the smaller islands.
Tonga will be fielding 4 New Zealand-based players in its women's team to bolster its chances.
We've been preparing for the last 6 weeks, so we feel pretty confident and pretty good about our team that we've brought here, in both our men and our women team. We seem to think we have a very strong men's team. Our women's team's good, but we have more faith in our men's team at this stage.
For fans wanting to witness top-class volleyball action, you can be sure to find it here at the Vodafone Arena right up until the final on Saturday. Talent Kadaka, FBC Sports.
In the English Premier League today, Leicester City came from a goal down to hold Manchester United 1-1. Tottenham Hotspurs now need to win all 3 remaining games to equal Leicester City on the points table, with Leicester having 2 games left to play. That is your sports for this evening. It's back to Jackie now with business.
Preparations for the Miss World Fiji 2016 crowning night are well underway. Miss World Fiji director Andy Blake says the night is going to be a grand spectacle with all 10 finalists prepped and ready. Blake says production for the crowning has been completely changed and guests can expect to see something new. Tickets are selling fast and can only be purchased from FBC.
We're going to have special guests like Miss Pacific Islands from Papua New Guinea, Abigail Habora is going to be here. We're also going to have the presence of Miss Fiji Pacific Islands, Zara Beg, and Miss Tembara. We thought we'd make it a grand spectacle and include all our beauty queens, as well as Miss World Fiji Brittany Hazelman and past Queen Charlene Tafunai.
The show starts at 6 p.m. this Saturday at the Grand Pacific Hotel. Occasional showers was experienced over most places today, with the capital city experiencing heavy rain all throughout the day. Temperatures dropped slightly from the usual above 30 degrees. Suva was the lowest with 25 degrees this afternoon. Forecast for tomorrow's occasional showers over most places. Isolated heavy falls likely, moderate to fresh east to southeast winds, rough seas. And the further outlook, it's for Wednesday, showers expected to ease. And recapping the main stories for tonight, Manohan building in Asinu declared unsafe occupation by the Mineral Resources Department. LTA turning to modern technology to reduce incidents of corruption, and 20 drunk drivers booked over the weekend. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. The results from last week's poll question. We had asked, are developed countries doing enough to fight climate change? 26% answered yes. This week we are asking, is it right for SEDELPA to try and bring back the GCC? To have your say, visit the FBC website. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spade. Good night.
आपको खरगंगा की रंजिला का नमस्कार। रेडियो फिजी की सुंदर सुंदर यादों का खजाना एकदम बचपन के दिन याद करा देते हैं।
हमारा नाम जोनी नायडू है, हम रहता है मलोलो में और हम टैक्सी ड्राइवर है। हम सब टाइम अपन टैक्सी में रेडियो फिजी 2 सुनता प्रोग्राम।
हम सिंगाटोका के हैं, हमारा नाम है रोजी। हम लोग यहाँ पे रेडियो फिजी 2 सुनता है।
राम राम, मैं रेमस प्रसाद बोलता हूँ, तब होता हूँ कोई रहता हूँ। मैं जब भी सुना रेडियो फिजी 2 ही सुनता हूँ।
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन।